We've got RIP Takeoff. Welcome to another edition of Mouthpiece Included. This is where we're going to talk politics. We're going to talk politics. That's the fusion of sports and politics. Got a lot of big topics lined up. It's been a crazy week in the world of sports and politics. Chicago's got a new mayor. He appears to be some sort of melanated person. Of course, the last one was too. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, but is he? We'll see what the resident Silverback has to say when he comes on the show. He's actually participating in Chicago politics, rocking his vote, things of this nature. So, we'll ask him to chime in at some point here. And as you know, this is an open panel. So, the link is pinned in the chat. So make sure if you pull up, you're always welcome. But when you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about the forgotten pair who broke NFL's color barrier, plus more hot topics. Since we got off to a later start than we wanted, we'll go ahead and pretty much get this thing going. So, as always, here's our show format for you. We're going to kick it off with, how about them Cubs, them Sox? Now, the homer in me, I predicted the Cubs to finish second, but the realist in me said they'll get third. Right now, my boys I didn't see a speck of pepper out there, but my boys are in second. Second place, I do believe. I don't know. We'll talk about that. Then we got some how about them Bulls segment. We'll cover the Bulls news of the week. They're locked into the 10th playoff spot. We've picked a booger. There's going to be a booger of this week. And then, of course, after the booger of the week segment, and in between, we've got a lot of hot topics for you, as mentioned. But the hottest topic is the forgotten pair who broke the NFL's color barrier. So pull up. The link's pinned in the chat. Let's go ahead and get this resident Silver back in the building. Jackie Robinson's finest. Management, coach, boots on the ground, mentoring children.
TATN, Mouthpiece included. TATN, Mouthpiece included.
What up, fool? You look happy. Vallis didn't win. What's going on? You're smiling from ear to ear out there.
Hey, we'll see what the new mayor does. We knew what the other guy, his track record of corrupting and tearing up the city.
Yeah, but you didn't know what was in his heart. You're talking about Paul Vallis?
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't know what was in his heart. But I wanted to give another melanated mayor a chance to guide this beautiful, great city of Chicago, no matter what the Fox boxes were saying about, their past bills and, this, that, and the other. This stuff.
Well, I remember when we had all those pink mayors.
Yeah.
The only thing dumb they would get blamed for is the corruption and not getting the snow off the ground. But ever since you got some sort of coloreds in there, they like to blame all the crime on these mayors like they on the take. You know what I mean? Like it's the Al Capone days and they just got their hands out and looking the other way.
Yeah, just go out there and kill, and just pay me. No, I mean, what's going on? Let's get some. Let them get an agenda together. Let's work together and make this the great city that it is. But there's still politics in the city of wind, so got to get over that, and hopefully he can get a couple terms to do it.
Yeah, politics as usual, and that's what makes this show different. People don't want to mix sports with their politics. No cream with the black coffee, things of that nature.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
No sugar, no cream.
But, R.I.P. Heavy D.
Yeah. Yeah, big up Heavy D and the boys. One of them passed.
I think it was Trouble T Roy.
Yeah, Trouble T Roy. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
reminisce over you. Yeah. Yeah.
All
So,
right. You got baseball coming up, huh?
Yeah. Got the kids out there on the field. The moms kept a few of them in yesterday because Easter, the Easter holiday. I threw a practice yesterday. I was gonna have practice today.
Oh, you had a pagan practice?
Apparently I did. It's only half the team showed up, but that's okay. I just wanted to get the rust off of them. We hadn't played or practiced in quite a while. Here in the Midwest, we don't get to play and practice all year. So the weather's finally breaking. We had a 60-degree day. We're looking at 70s and 80s this week. So it's time to play ball. Yeah, the kids are looking stronger, mentally wiser, healthier, and good. So now it's time to get out there and develop those skills to get some of these other teams in the Chicago area the pounding they deserve from the Jackie Robinson West All-Stars. But it's
big ups Jackie Robinson West. Now I know you're a homer, but what are the boys what they gonna do this year, bro? They gonna take it?
Well, we got a couple of kids playing on other teams, but get your bandwagon riders ready because we're going. We got a crew of players that are ready to go ahead and do our thing, and we're going all the way. So get ready. There's going to be hurdles and obstacles and negative media as we start ascending to the regional tournament and trying to get to the World Series. But hey, these kids are battle tested. They'll be all right.
As they say, it ain't cheating. You ain't trying if you ain't cheating.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But they're always cheating and we always trying. So, what you gonna do?
Yeah, that's the irony of it. All right, let's go ahead and jump in it. And big ups to J Dub. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it home this year. All
yes,
right.
Sir.
So today's hottest topic is the forgotten pair who broke the NFL's color barrier. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. If you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. All right, there, fella.
Don't forget it.
We're going to talk, how about them Sox? How about them Cubs? Let me go ahead and give you the quick standings before we start. Right now, your Sox are 4-5. They're under their Mendoza line. They're in third place, 2.5 games out of first.
Mm-hmm.
My Cubbies are 4-3. They're in third place, as I predicted. They're flirting with second. They're only a game and a half out of 5, and I believe they've won 3 straight. So, you got anything special to say about your Sox or the Cubs? What's on your mind?
Well, same thing with the Sox. They're looking for pitching. One pitcher got hurt, one pitcher's coming in, and one pitcher's looking okay, and one pitcher's not. So it always comes down to pitching and injuries with the Sox. Somebody just got hurt the other day. I don't know. No, it wasn't Eloy. Well, it might have been Eloy. But Roberts is off to a hot start, which is good. But that was in Houston. We need these guys to hit here in the elements of Chicago. But it's gonna be.
So I've been hearing this crap about the Sox needing pitching. Okay, why is it that the other top teams can manufacture pitching? Is it in your mind as a baseball guy? Is it a drafting issue, or is it a player development issue? Is it a picking the wrong free agent issue, or is it a combination? Why can't we get any pitching on the South Side? Do they not want to live out there in the drill community?
Everybody needs pitching. Every team in Major League Baseball, you luck up in the draft and get a stud pitcher, and then you can go through free agency and hopefully luck up again and get you a nice closer or develop some arms. But for some reason, the White Sox, they go out and get pitching through free agency. Those guys get hurt. Our closer now, shout out to Liam Hendricks. He's dealing with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He just had his last chemo treatment, so he's supposed to be cancer free. We'll see when he comes back. I mean, it's just a variety of things that always affects the White Sox pitching staffs ever since the World Series. You know, that was probably the strongest staff we had back when we had all those studs that you couldn't hit the ball against. But it's tough. Everybody needs pitching. Let me say that. Every team in Major League Baseball needs pitching. Either you're gonna go out and pay this guy $60, $70 million for 3 seasons, who's a stud and he wants to come to your team, or you're always gonna be looking for pitching.
Well, speaking of pitching, this Jay Steele for the Cubs, man. He was on the bump yesterday.
Yeah.
He's got a total of 12 innings pitched with 2 earned runs in his starts. His 2 starts, he's gotten, through 6.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. I only saw some highlights, but yes, I like this guy.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, there's not a melanated player on the roster, apparently. I heard you talking about it. I'm like, can't be. No, I mean, I looked at, bro, I didn't see not even a dark-looking Spaniard.
Yeah.
Can we say Spaniard? Can we say Spaniard?
Spaniards, yeah. It's not a derogatory term. It's a tribute to a region of long past. But that's how it's looking on the north side nowadays. They have some down in the minors, but you never know if they ever make it up to the show. But
bro, you cannot have a roster. I know they're saying we're endangered species in
right.
MLB,
right?
But
because
I've been a Cubs fan since I was 13. Yeah. I've never seen anything like this.
Never, absolutely.
This can't be accidental.
Yeah, even from the manager to the closer,
no one.
Pitching, or yeah.
I think the Andy Frame guys are all pink at this point. The parking, everybody. I'm
pretty sure.
I didn't see a brother in the stands.
Well, the last time I was there, Joe was playing for Kenwood in the semifinals in the for CPS. But I didn't. There weren't many melanated Andy Frame guys there that day, except for CPS security. But yeah. So that's the state of baseball. So you're missing something if you don't have a melanated player on your team. You're missing speed. You're missing hidden knowledge. You're missing something. So they're missing something.
You're missing inspiration, toughness, intelligence,
right?
Yeah, athleticism.
Absolutely. You got to be missing that, and apparently you have no need for it, or you can't develop it in your farm system.
Nah, man. I understand they're on the north side and they're trying to go by their fan base, but it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
If you're saying, we're catering to what our fan base demographic is, and all you're doing is having 100% of your fan base, of your players match that demographic, then it's just going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're never going to get any types of other fans to start coming, which I don't think they have any interest in over there in Boys Town. Where's Wrigley Field? Is it in Boys Town?
It's just west of Boys Town.
Yeah, it's the next community right there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Big up Wrigleyville, big up Boys Town. All right. You got any more baseball banter? Hey, like I said, it's never been like this. And as a child, you don't know what's in your heart. You know what I mean? You're just watching baseball.
But as I was saying in weeks past, growing up, those are the guys we were watching. We were watching the Ernie Banks.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't look funny because there was at least one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen this, man. Like, we look worse than Boston did in their heyday.
Yeah. The Leon Durhams. And his curl was wet.
Jerry curl.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going on.
Big Dawson had the drippy Jerry curl, too. That's why he struck out so much.
That's why he came to Cubs.
Yeah, that's why he struck out so much, because he can get his hair done on the south side. Yeah, he was getting that curl juice in his eyes. Nobody talked about that. Big up Big Dawson.
Yeah. It was a technicality back in the day.
All right, get up off my Cubs. Go Sox, go Cubs. So today's hottest topic is the forgotten pair who broke the NFL's color barrier. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. And you guys, please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Tweet it. Whatever you got to do. Put it on Twitch. So, how about them Bulls? As I mentioned at the intro of the show, the Bulls are locked in for the 10th playoff spot.
All right, one more game.
Yeah, we're 39-42, and we played Detroit today, but we're still locked in. So it looks like we're going to start with the Heat. Yeah. So what about that series? Well, could be a series.
One more game.
They can't. We got to sweep the Heat. Basically, we got to win 2 games.
Yeah, we got to beat. Is the Heat they play first, and then they play someone else to try and get to play the 18?
Yeah. You're right. I think you're right about that. Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, this is a shithole. No, you're right. Yeah, I think we play the Heat, and the Heat can lose and move on, but they can't lose more than once. If the Bulls lose once, we're out of the tournament.
Right.
So I think you're right about that. But
so the Bulls got to win twice to get their brains kicked in by the walkie.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, they're going to get their brains kicked in because they're still a 7th and an 8th seed. So I really don't know how this works. I look it up and it's dumb.
Yeah. Well, once they win the 2 games, then they will become the 8. And allegedly, yeah, because they're the 10. So the highest they can go is 8.
I got you. So the battle, yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Only one of these between the Raptors, Bulls, Hawks, because it's 2 spots. It's a 7th and an 8th seed left.
Yeah, they're playing for those 2 spots. So the Heat just got to win once,
and they'll maintain their 7th seed.
Yeah, and then
it's all dumb and it's pointless to even talk about because who cares? Like I said, they're gonna get Ben Roethlisberger in the first round. Big up, Ben Roethlisberger.
Big ups to Big Ripley. I mean Roethlisberger. Absolutely. It'll probably be on bed rest today, getting ready for the play-in game. So we'll see what Detroit does to them. They were on bed rest.
Yeah, you're right. They might as well be on bed rest. They might as well.
They were on bed rest against Dallas the other night.
I know Dallas was on bed rest, but the Bulls were on bed rest too.
Yeah. Cody White had a heck of a game. I mean, he came out and showed that he's an NBA player.
Yeah, he should be starting. I agree. He's your starter going forward. Let's take all the crap out of it. Go ahead and pay him his money. It's always going to be about money. Pay him his money, and that's your starting point guard, and move on. Yeah.
I mean, I they're looking for, I guess, Ron Harper to come back.
No, they're looking for Lonzo Doesn't Ball to come back.
He's not coming back. Okay. You already know he's not playing next year. I mean, come on, man.
I'm just saying that's what they're looking for, and they're going to keep, and they're cheap, traditionally cheap. So,
but this guy can shoot. You keep talking about how, size-wise, he can't compete in the NFL and the NBA. But why the hell did they draft him?
Correct.
I mean, if he can shoot, you don't even have to be a tall. I mean, nobody plays defense, so what difference does it make?
Yeah, and he's a point guard. He can't be smaller than Chris Paul.
Right. So get the guy out there.
Can't be smaller than Brunson. I mean, you know what I mean? An inch, maybe 2.
No interest in Brunson.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing. You're right. Like, why draft him if you think that, or trade him?
Yeah. So they're trying to trade him in the offseason for a G League player and a 2nd round draft pick. I don't know what the Bulls are doing.
It's probably about making money. And speaking of the boys, man, I didn't know Ben Gordon, man, was suffering from like schizophrenia and stuff, man. I hadn't heard about that. Do they talk about that in the local news feed? Getting arrested?
Um, they give it a little fodder just when he gets arrested.
They don't care about him.
No, not at all. No, they don't. But they don't talk about him needing some professional help, either from the organization, from the NBA, or somebody concerning his mental health issues. And I think it was a little talk about it toward his last years in the league and the end of his time with the Bulls. Some of the things he was doing, but once you're not a commodity as far as the team is concerned, they have no interest in helping you or your family. But he definitely needs some professional help, and I hope he gets it before it spirals into something that is fatal.
Yeah, I watched Marcellus Miley boogering it up again about him, and he didn't mention nothing about the mental illness like what they said he did. It made no sense from right away. Mental illness, jumped out of my mind. So I did a little more research, and yeah, he's been battling with that. He came out and talked about it, trying to help the rest of the league. He's suicidal and he wants to, delete himself. And for Booger Wiley to come out there and just talk about some other nonsense, about athletes and being ego and this and that. This guy's reached out for help. He's got a mental history, and I bet you somebody around him stole all his money.
Yeah. He supposedly has a business here. I don't know if that's still viable, but it would have been a better platform for Booger Wiley to go into the mental wellness that athletes need. You just had Andre Drummond from the Bulls stated he needed a day or some time to address his mental wellness right in his last 2 weeks of the season. So to go that route,
Wiggins has been dealing with something they're not talking about.
Yeah, I mean, and there are people too. They, people go through. They have mental issues. They have issues that they need addressed.
John Morant. I knew something was wrong with John Morant when he was talking about he'd toast Michael Jordan in a one-on-one, and he'd post you up, dunk on you every time. He'd spot you. You'd be playing to 11, scoring by ones. He'd spot you 8 points and Roethlisberger you.
That ninja's crazy. So yeah,
I told you then. Not that we're making light of
right. But yeah, and I don't know if the league is going to address it as a whole, like they did with Black Lives Matter. Somebody has to die or something. There's no reason for that.
Or Me Too.
Yeah, I mean, players have mental issues, and they've had in the entire history of the NBA. So, if they don't have a program developed to help these particular players, they should definitely look into doing it. Or somebody has to come to the forefront and get it done for current and former players.
Yeah.
But shout out to Ben Gordon, man. Hopefully, he has somebody in his family in his corner that can help him get over this or get him to the help that he needs. Hopefully, he's willing to accept it and move on with his life and his after basketball career.
Yeah. So who you got in the Final Four of the NBA? I guess the seedings overall doesn't matter. And I know, trying to remember what I went with. I know I went with the Bucks. I believe I went with Bucks
Boston
over Cavs. May have been Boston, but I wasn't sure about that. I didn't know if that new melanated coach could process. You know what I mean?
He doesn't sleep with anyone in the organization. So they think he's fine.
But according to ESPN, he had allegations 14 years ago. And
he didn't pay
battery at a bar. I mean, who doesn't fight at a bar? It was a bar fight. There was some other stuff.
He was in his 20s.
Yeah.
How could he have a bar fight in his 20s?
One of them he was never charged for, and the other one, like I said, it was the bar fight.
Yeah.
You know, and he just got like community service at ESPN. Thought it was important to bring that up when the Celtics had announced they were hiring him.
Oh my gosh. Why? Oh man, why? Well, we went in the past all your reporters and scribes and pundits, you know, there's no telling what would be fine about, you know, following, you know, babies or teabagging interns. There's no telling what we would find. The man is just getting hired by an NBA team. They know anything that happened in his past. There's no reason to bring that out to the national media.
There isn't, especially at the highest point in his life. You bring up some nonsense like that.
Right.
But that being said, wasn't sure if I had picked them. So I think I picked Bucks. Well, what I'm picking now is Bucks, Cavaliers in the East. Who are you going with in the East?
I'm staying with my walkie in Boston. I'm staying with them.
All right. Now in the West, I know for a fact none of these teams at the bottom. I know I definitely had the Clippers, I had the Warriors, and I know I had the Nuggets up there. I've always been low on the Grizzlies. I didn't fancy the Suns. That was before they had Durant. So I do believe, I know I had the Warriors there.
All right. I did too.
Yeah, and the Clippers were, if they could stay healthy. Yeah. So
yeah, I think you were high on Clippers.
Yeah,
who
are currently a 5 and a 6 seed, both teams respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always high on the Nuggets because, you know, they've been a team that's been put together. I know their name was mentioned too. So
yeah, they got an MVP on them too. Shithole.
Most valuable punk. But if I had to, if I had to go, well, go ahead. Give me your pick, bro. In the West.
In the West, as of now, I'm going Phoenix and Golden State to defend.
Okay. I got you. So Phoenix wins. If this stays like it is, they would eliminate the Clippers. And then they would probably be playing the Nuggets. The Warriors would eliminate the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah. Or just hate the Grizzlies.
No. They'd be playing the Grizzlies. Suns would probably play the Grizzlies. So, the Warriors would play the Grizzlies in the first round. Then they're gone. So then it'd probably be, yeah. All right. So yeah, like I said, John Morant's hurt right now. He likes to have the tape on his fingers like Ant. You know what I mean? This guy Ant, big ups Ant. Couldn't come to MP once without getting tweaked. You know what I mean? Tweak my hand, jam my finger. Right. Quit reaching. But I think I'm gonna go with the Warriors, bro. Getting to the Final Four.
Come out and play.
Suns, yeah, they are undefeated with Durant.
Yeah,
but the Warriors been struggling on the road, but the Clippers would. Yeah, so the only other teams that all right, yeah, Warriors Suns. We're gonna go with that.
All right. See what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Warriors Suns. Yeah, but the brackets still aren't final yet. There's some meaningless games today where everybody's gonna be on bed rest for the seeding.
Yeah. So neither one of us picked the Bulls to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, it was only if if Ball came back. I mean, you've given up hope on that guy.
Yeah. Come on. Ball and Michael Jeffrey Jordan had to come back.
100%.
Right.
All right. So today's hottest topic is the forgotten pair who broke the NFL's color barrier. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat.
Look,
Now, here's a story you sent to me. Our production staff got all over this. And
right.
I'm in Los Angeles. Okay. So, it should have been in the local feed. Los Angeles
Yeah.
Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon can't comment on fan altercation in Oakland. So what happened there? You got into it with a fan?
No comment.
Well, yeah, we need to learn how to say that as a people. Communities, when the news wants to talk about Pookie and Ray Ray, no comment. When they're asking about your family member who may or may not have done something, no comment. When you're an athlete or entertainer and they got to shove that mic in your face and ask you about what happened last night at the club, no comment.
Oh yeah, no comment.
Yeah, it's just going to twist your words up. But Anthony Rendon went with the no comment. But so there was a fan heckling or something. And I think according to Rendon, did he say the guy said something racist or no, he said no comment.
I mean, yeah, he said something.
Well, he struck out 3 times. It was over, so the fans should have been talking crap to him.
Yeah, probably called him a racist name, talked about his mother and whoever else was in his family they can think of. And probably that's when the altercation started.
Well, Rendon's accused a fan of calling him a slur. So I don't know if that was a sexual slur, you know what I mean, or a racial slur.
Yeah, it's racial.
The fan denied it, but how do you know? What are they, lip readers? How do you know at a baseball game? Because the guy wasn't off by himself. That came out of his mouth. Yeah, well, I guess. Why are you paying attention to that?
Yeah, I mean, especially in Oakland, they've got they're averaging about 4,000 fans a game. I don't know. Maybe he was having a bad day. I mean, they're averaging 4,000 to 6,000 fans a damn game, I believe. So there's no reason. I guess it's quiet there. That's one thing. If you got 4,000 to 6,000 people spread around a stadium that holds 60,000, you can probably hear a pin drop in their stadium. But to pay attention to anything that an A's fan would be saying was it's not showing a lot of mental awareness on your part to excel at the game that you play. Why would you be worried about a fan?
And go ahead and finish your thought, but then go into why is this not on? Why ain't Stephen A. Smith shouting about it on the national circuit? And what's the other booger name on Fox? Used to play tight end? Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, maybe they didn't, they haven't heard it on our show yet. So probably next week, once they watch this week's episode of Mouthpiece included, like, share, subscribe, you'll maybe get a little bit more backlash or verbiage about this incident, especially if it goes to some kind of, I don't know, litigation. But all right, I doubt it.
Well, baseball, MLB allegedly is investigating it, but I'm saying they got video. That's been the excuse that's been used over the years. Well, it's on video. They had to address it. So why ain't this hitting the national media circuit? They got video. Why ain't they running that over and over and showing the big ape black man swinging at fans and talking about his parenting and how he came up and his education levels and stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's MLB. Maybe he didn't connect. Maybe it wasn't a good punch or whatever happened. For some reason, they've swept this completely under the rug. Or maybe it's a friend or a compadre of one of the Oakland A's owners or something. There's always some crap going on when stuff gets swept under the rug. So hopefully we can get some kind of some backstory on what happened and why this isn't a bigger story for MLB, for a player to be going after a fan. Yeah, I really don't understand it. You know, the melanated players are always scrutinized and watched and videotaped and sued in every major sports league in the United States, around the world. But some of this stuff gets swept under the rug so quick. It's just amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean maybe they didn't have a good video of it, but all of that, I want to hear the preaching. There's no place for that in baseball. The breaking the cardinal rule and how the fans pay your paycheck. And I want to hear how your bosses ain't paying you to do that, and leave that on the street and stop hanging out with your friends. Maybe it's his friends and the people that's hanging out with him.
Poking them.
Yeah. Needs to get them some help and apologize, and they got security. I'm saying, and I know you just addressed it, this is some of the things we try to point out. And then our people get all over the internet and pile on the brothers when we have these situations. But you don't see nobody else over the internet piling on Rendon.
No. Yeah, I met him at a party, and he even signed an autograph for me. Yeah, he probably would have done it. What?
Exactly. So that's the reason we're addressing this. And then to the young ones out there, no comment is extremely important.
No comment. Because once you hit them with the no comment, then they got to go searching. And if they don't have nobody to make something up about the incident, or nobody else is going to comment, that's pretty much the end of the story. No comment.
Yep, but when we say no comment, Stephen A. and the pundits, well, if I was innocent, I would just come out and say I didn't do it. When I wake up in the morning, my bosses, first thing I want to do is give a handy J to my bosses. That's the first. Can we say that on
you can't say
YouTube?
Well, you can say handy J. We got a handy J quarterback in the NFLs.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterback, Cam.
Stop it.
Yeah, so Cam's in the media.
Yeah. Saying
that a lot of these bums shouldn't, that it's not, that these quarterbacks aren't better than him. A majority of them, or at least some of them. And you know what? I agree with Cam. I haven't said he'd be a good backup for our Bears. But we kind of hit on this last week. So he came out and he said these are the players that he will back up: Handy J. Watson, Lamar Action, My Mama's My Agent Jackson, Just in Time.
Collusion.
Yeah, he said he'll back up just in time. That'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Tua Tagliavovoila, because Tua's going to be out. He's going to be
out. He's definitely going to get hurt.
Yeah. That Mark said Malik Willis, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. These guys ain't even in the league.
Ain't not even in the league yet.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Sam Howell. Who the hell is that?
Sam Howell. I don't know. Gotta look him up.
But somebody else. Well, what Cam was saying is, I think he was talking about he could be a mentor for some of these guys, and then some of these guys like Aaron Rodgers, and you know what I mean, who don't need the mentors. He's saying that he'd be willing to be a backup to them. Why wouldn't you be? Why ain't KC's quarterback on here?
Yeah, I don't know. Why wouldn't you want to back up Sideshow Bob? I mean, that's an easy check.
Yeah, and you might get yourself a ring.
Right, absolutely. So I would just want to say he's probably going at the angle, like you said, of mentorship. what he can offer these particular melanated quarterback and their skill set. So maybe that's what he's thinking as far as I'm willing to back these guys up since nobody wants me as a starting quarterback in the NFL no more. But I think his
approach is a little off because it seems like he would want to back up some of those bums that he's pointing out so he can take their job. You know, so he can take their job. Like he crossed the border.
You know, I would want to definitely back up some of those bums that you know they're going to get hurt, or eventually the head coach, to save his job, is going to be looking for somebody to win some football games. So, yeah, I don't understand. Or even as far as the Washington, what are they called now? The
Commandos.
Commandos. You know, a situation like that where he can probably go in and compete to be a starting quarterback, or New York Jets. Or I mean, yeah, they say they're getting Smug Rogers, but they don't have him yet. Or different situations in the league. In Tampa Bay, they need a damn quarterback. So yeah, as a former MVP, I don't think I would have the intent to come out and say that I want to be a backup quarterback, even though I know that's my time as far as my skill set is concerned in the NFL. I still want to compete.
He's putting that out there because the narrative has been guys like that, and he wouldn't want to back up and all that.
He wouldn't be willing to back anybody up.
And I think he's kind of saying he's taking away all their lies and excuses for their collusion. Because let's not be mistaken here. If that guy was Ben Roethlisberger, like drop dead gorgeous, blonde hair, you know, long flowing hair, and had played in the league and gotten himself some MVPs and went to the Super Bowl, because, you know, since LeBron James, it don't matter winning it all. You just got to get there these days. You really just got to get into the championship game, not even the Super Bowls anymore. You know,
but didn't he do all that?
The Eastern Conference, correct. So that's all I'm saying, and I think that was his issue. I think that's the point he was raising. Like, why isn't my phone ringing? All these bums,
right? All these bums. You telling me let's say every NFL team keeps at least 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, because he's not going to want to be third in the depth chart. So let's say if there's 32 teams times 2, that's 64 quarterbacks. And I can tell you right now, 64 of those bums can't hold his jockstrap.
Right. Absolutely not. So So I understand that it comes to a point in your career that you have to humble yourself as far as getting a job. But there's no way he's not being invited to camp or on a roster yet. I mean, we're in an in-between period as far as the draft and setting up your rosters for camp. So I'm sure his phone will ring. But, you know, I guess it's a good stance on his point to let him know that he's willing to back up, you know, a starting quarterback at this point in his career.
But I said when we picked up Peter Tom Willis, the brother that was playing in the Canadian League MVP, I'm like, man, if we could take him, man, Cam would be a good backup for Justin Time.
Yeah.
I think they both from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That area.
I think it's a money thing, and he's probably got a tag on him, being
he's got a tag, all right. He's blackface.
Yeah, he's got the collusion, uncoachable tag on him.
And he always talks about political stuff. And remember, as a quarterback, he always talked about, y'all not about to do me like y'all did all those brothers back in the day.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
it's the NFL. It's the NFL.
Exactly. And you'll never own a team. You take that with you on your way out here. All right. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that. Mark Cuban blames Jalen Brunson's dad. And once again, blaming the black father who's in the picture, who played in the league. He's blaming Jalen Brunson's dad for not re-signing Brunson, who you've been high on. You've been high on him since the draft. Yeah. Not re-signed. You even said it. You know, this kid's got pedigree, everything. Well coached. He's got all the immeasurables. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He can take the clutch shot. But
Yeah.
that all being said, he's blaming the black dad. Now, how do you feel as an athlete? I mean, as a dad. You know, imagine if you, go ahead. But what's your thoughts on this? I mean,
Mark Cuban, you can kiss my ass.
We don't know what's in his heart. You know, I've been. Yeah, he's from Indiana.
He's from Indiana University. Yeah. Come on, man. How can you blame him? Either show the kid the bag, or you showing him the door. And apparently they didn't show him the bag, so he hit the door. They lucked up and got him in the second round after winning 2 championships in UConn.
And they had his bird rights. Go ahead.
They had his bird. Oh my gosh. So you can't blame him. Go to your general manager, go to your president of your team, whoever's running your organization, and find out how this guy got out of town. How's he in New York scoring 50 damn points or playing his arse off to get them, toward the playoffs in the Eastern Conference?
Well, you know what, Ace, and it had to be along those lines. He was outshining the guy you're low on, who's always begging for calls, doesn't play any defense.
Yeah.
Sued his mama.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what's in his heart.
We don't know what's in his heart.
He gave up his NIL to his mama as a gift. Now he wants it back.
I want it back. I need that money back. Didn't you just sign with Jordan Brand? You son of we don't know what's in his heart. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think Brunson was one of these guys, true point guard. He was playing to win, not to make Luka look better.
Right. But he had no reason to play to make Luka look better. Luka was going to be made to look better
by
the NBA.
Yeah.
Just being, pink, coming from a shithole country and winning championships over and
getting to the Western Conference Finals. That's all that matters these days.
Yeah.
They talk the GOAT competition. LeBron's been 15-1. Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Yeah. It's been 75 finals. Yes, it's 1-1.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so they go from playing in the Western Conference Finals, being Dallas, to not even making the playoffs. And Cuban set them out where they still had a chance. If they'd have won that game against the Bulls, he put his team on bed rest because I think it has something to do with they have a protected pick. And they lose.
They was working on the draft pick.
Nobody's even talking about this.
And you're going to blame the black father that he didn't re-sign with the damn team? Are you kidding me? If you would have paid the guy, he'd still be there, be your starting damn point guard. You wouldn't have to do whatever, get rid of the players you had to get rid of to get damn Kyrie to come to your team and still not win. So, stay out of the media, stay on the Shark Tank, or let your basketball people do their jobs, and they don't know what they're doing. Get rid of them.
That Mark he be on Shark Tank like, yeah, well, you're not blonde-haired and blue-eyed, so I'm out.
I'm out. I can't put this in my stadium. I'm out. They don't like that.
So. Yeah, but a lot of it has to do with Brunson. I mean, and then so where's Brunson now? New York, right?
Yeah.
And they made the playoffs, right?
Yeah. He just hit like 50 the other day.
Yeah.
The kid. He's a good player. I wouldn't have counted on him scoring like 48 and 40 and 30 and all these great games he's having as a point guard and scoring for me, but I knew he was a solid player. He had pedigree. He had won 2 championships. What the hell else you want from a player? 2 championships in college. And I can't believe that the Bulls passed on him. And Dallas let him go. But
these guys act like the way Luka plays, the way LeBron plays, being ball dominant.
Yeah.
They act like that's the best way to go, and they act like this is something new. I mean, Magic did it, but Magic was a point guard. Like, they letting these guys pad their stats up, give them all these MVPs, and they don't play on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
If you have, Luka not be so ball dominant, only do it in situations, and let your point guard be a point guard and
Run
be
the team.
ball dominant. Correct. Run the team. Luka would have been more efficient and less apt to be injured all the time.
Yeah, because you're not shooting double teams at him all the time because he doesn't have the ball all the time. He's not getting banged because I'm banging. You got a guy out there just dribbling the ball the whole time up and down the court. Yeah, I'm sending somebody out there to bang him from another shithole country. I'm bringing him right off the bench and run right at him and bang him.
Exactly, and that's why the Bulls got rid of Doug Collins, because remember Mike was ball dominant like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, he put up, people act like they don't remember, but he put up 35, 36 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, being running up and down and controlling the ball like Tizo all game. You know what I mean? Pounding the ball into the ground like LeBron. My point is, exactly. So it doesn't mean that Mike couldn't do it. It doesn't mean that some of these other players couldn't do it. Yeah. It's that you got a point guard, let them bring the ball up, take some of that pounding off these guys' knees and stuff, and get them the ball in rhythm.
And it makes your team a lot easier to defend. Well, I mean, everybody knew even when we knew Jordan was getting the ball, they couldn't defend him. But if you got a point guard that's bringing the ball up, putting the mileage on their legs or starting to play, and then running
easy buckets from other players, taking pressure off that guy.
Yeah, you're running the offense. You're running your offense because the other team's got to send 2 or 3 players at Michael Jordan. They got to send 2 or 3 or 4 players at Michael Jordan, so somebody's always wide open. So they don't do that for LeBron, for all you GOAT enthusiasts. But so it is what it is. Is Brunson? That was my guy. I wish the Bulls would have got him. I wish they would have drafted him.
Yeah,
but it's all
you said it. Bulls should have drafted him. Who did we get? You remember?
Yeah. Who knows? They're not on the team now. Doesn't matter.
And why don't we play Dalen Terry?
No interest.
You might as well start developing this guy before you decide you don't want to pay him when he's asking for more money, and then he goes off to another team and starts dominating the league like Bobby Portis.
Yeah, you got to get rid of. I was high on him because you got to get rid of your coach. If you're not developing your players, which he hasn't developed anybody since he's been here, you got to get rid of him because the league now is all on drafting these 18, 19, 20-year-olds. If you don't have a coach that can develop them, he could coach them in college, but he can't develop them in the NBA. He's got to go.
Yeah, I bet you they have guys like him just sitting on the sidelines in practice.
Yeah, he's talking about. Well, he's mainly talking about how his mentor is DeMar DeRozan and how those guys are working with him to help develop his skills. But it's nothing as far as the coaching staff and developing plays or Pierce in the game where they can get him in where he can get some NBA experience.
He should be getting 20 minutes a game, man, this year.
Yeah.
Next year, 25. Year after that, 30 and up.
Especially on a below 500 team. Come on.
That's my point.
There's no way you're not playing these younger guys.
All right, so the Reggie Bar, Reggie Jackson. He put together a consortium, included Bill Gates, Deep Pockets. So that consortium made a bid to purchase the A's. Leslie, according to Jackson, this was blocked. They offered to pay $25 million over the highest bid at the time. So whatever bid you get, Gates is going to write a check for $25 million more than that.
Yeah.
Turned out the commissioner, I think it was it Selig?
Bud Selig.
He's the one who banned Pete Rose, ain't he?
Yeah,
What a jackass.
Yeah,
Now gambling's legal, and you know what I mean.
yeah.
They better put Pete Rose put Pete in the Hall of Fame.
Come on, man. Gambling hey, you don't think they're gambling on the games now?
Man, it's a tough SOB. And
Yeah.
Reggie said it broke his heart, similar to like Walter Payton had heartbreak when the NFL did him the same way. What's your comments on this? And his buddy, his best childhood friend, ended up getting the deal for way less than what they could have got.
Yeah, I mean, it was collusion between Bud Selig and his buddy. But he was committed.
That $25 million ain't going in my pocket.
Right. It's going to the league. Now I get my buddy to kick me $25 million. It's going straight into my bank account. But you have the owners never really liked Reggie Jackson. He was controversial. He wasn't deeply melanated as far as they were concerned, but he
wasn't a coon.
Yeah. And he always spoke his mind, and he always he was a precursor of the players having the endorsement deals, going into ownership, and living a good life after baseball.
Yeah, he had the Reggie bar. I don't know why they stopped selling that. That was in my rotation as a kid.
Yeah, I like the Reggie bar.
Yeah, man. It was in my rotation.
Yeah, it was probably collusion to get rid of the Reggie bar.
There was.
I mean, he was Mr. October. Now, who the hell gets rid of a candy bar? that's selling everywhere. It was selling at the corner candy store, not just at the grocery stores. Even
yes, that's what I'm saying. They had it at our corner store across the street from Ray School. I used to go over there, and my rotation, I remember, was a whatchamacallit, Reese Cup, Snickers, and the Reggie bar out there. That was my rotation.
Yeah,
I sold candy at Ray. Would buy it right there, coming from early involvement at Kenwood. Went there in 7th grade. They throw you in garbage cans, throw pennies at you. Not me. I had big brothers and stuff. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I'd pick up candy at this local store. It might have been a small hat. I'd pick it up there at a little newspaper stand, and I'd go to Ray School and resell it to the rich kids that were there. Mark it up twice, double my money. And the Reggie bar was a big seller. This is what I'm trying to say. The Reggie bar was one of my biggest sellers, and then all of a sudden they pulled it off the market out there.
Pulled it off the market. He was too controversial, too outspoken. He wanted to own a team. He wanted to do the things that you college. Can I say college? That you melanated players aren't supposed to be able to do. And here you are. He got in a position with one of y'all guys. With Bill Gates, wrote you a check for whatever he could have made. They could have made the Oakland A's worth whatever monetary amount they wanted to make it worth.
Man, the stadium Bill Gates would have built, boy.
State of the art, Microsoft proficient stadium. Yeah. Absolutely. So for them to down that deal and give it to Bud Selig's buddies. And all the owners had to know because they had to vote on it.
And they made him believe the deal was his. That's what broke his heart. They did Walter Payton the same way.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what's in their hearts.
Yeah, I guess the slaves can't be owners.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Unless you want to start your own league.
Right. But, they have their stakes in the ground in place to make sure that doesn't happen. So it's maybe one day we'll get off the slave ship and get into ownership. One day. But
absolutely, because like you said, there's stakes in the ground. They control the media pundits and everything. So they're gonna go after your family. They're gonna go after your businesses. They're gonna see if you pay your water bill. All kind of crap. He owed the city $37. He can't be mad. All right. So the forgotten pair who broke the NFL's color barrier, pull up the links in the chat. So there's been a lot of banter about homegirl Angel Reese and from Louisiana State University, NCAA college basketball. and then the girl from Iowa University, that pretty pink Caitlin Clark. Now,
Pretty is a stretch, but okay, she's pink.
well, if you watch Disney, then you know what I mean. They're all beautiful. None of them are missing teeth and cavities and fat. Now, Angel Reese has 17 NIL deals. She's been maximizing this talk. So, you know, there was she allegedly taunted and trolled Caitlin Clark, who was running through the NCAA's, trolling everybody she beat and pointing at her ring. So Angel Reese gave her the business back, and of course Pink Twitter went ham.
Mm-hmm.
You know, called what she's doing ghetto, and
no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do
that. You can't do that. When we do it, it's ghetto and it's not good sports.
Not
when
sports.
White Chocolate does it, he's special.
She's on her way to a ring. There's no way they're gonna keep her from getting a ring. And after they beat South Carolina, there's no way they thought LSU would beat them handily the way they did. But
beat the brakes off of them.
Now LSU beat that was men's league. But I think they did beat Miami too. But come on, man.
Yeah, you picked Miami. I picked San Diego State. They made it to the chip, but
both of the Florida teams lost on the men's side.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Yeah, you want to do all that on television? You want to see all it? You want to? That's what happened. That's what happens.
I tell you what, she's got a great team. I mean, she's got a Twitter going, being Angel Reese. She's got John Moran involved. But in Caitlin Clark's defense, she never had no problem with none of it. And she
was just talking stuff.
Right. In the court. And I've been saying, Ace, right here on this show, they've been listening.
No.
They've been listening.
Absolutely.
I've looked in the camera and I told these WNBA people they need to put me in charge, make me the commissioner.
Absolutely.
We need this type of controversy. Let me tell you something. Sex sells, racism sells. You've got a combination of both. The NBA knows about it. And what I would do is I would pay Angel Reese, first time she meets up Caitlin Clark in the NBA, I would pay her on the side extra money so she don't have to play in some shithole country, to make ends meet. I would pay her extra money to punch Caitlin Clark. I'd pay Caitlin Clark to take the punch and lay out there knocked out. What was that Houston player name? I think he ended up being a coach and somebody.
Rudy Tomjanovich.
Yeah. I'd pay Angel Reese to Rudy Tomjanovich, Caitlin Clark. First time they play in the WNBA. And now you're selling tickets.
Yeah, I would have both of them come out now. I think it is Caitlin's last year, but I'd have Angel Reese come out. I know she's getting this NIL money, but
they don't want to come out. I'm glad you mentioned I was going to go there, but hold your thought. Yeah. They don't want to come out. They'd rather stay in college because of the shithole WNBA and those shithole countries they're going to. If you're at a big power school, it's better for you there with the NIL money. But go ahead.
Yeah. But I'm thinking as far as the WNBA is concerned, if you want this league to really thrive, this is the time you take advantage of your Magic Johnson, Larry Bird coming out.
Facts.
And pay them whatever the hell you need to pay them and bring them out and make your league real. Now, if you don't want to do that, then, it is what it is.
You're right. No, Caitlin Carter should be playing for the Indiana WNBA team, or if they got one in Boston, and send Angel Reese out to, Atlanta team or LA, and then create that. Yeah.
Give it a bag, pay whatever the hell you need to pay them if you want your league to be real. You want it to be sustainable for the future, and it'll sell.
Now, if she Rudy Tomjanovich, that girl on national TV, and she laid out like that, right? You're paying them both,
Yeah.
Tell me you would now be interested to take your family out to buy a ticket and watch that game. Tell me that. Tell me you wouldn't care.
Angel Reese is coming to Chicago. Well, I like to have her in Chicago as a player anyway. But, Angel Reese is coming to town, You're filling up your stands. You know,
And
now
now
you
you
get
got, and I'm saying, yeah, yes, but even to tune in those games, you would tune in for that, like the way they tune in. You got your
yeah.
racist white fans out there,
Yeah.
screaming racial
Larry
epithets and
Bird,
injuries. Yeah.
greatest. He's greatest of all time.
Just on their talent, I'm interested in seeing them play. That was the
Yeah.
highest viewed women's
NCAA.
championship game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I
I'm
would be
still waiting for
interested.
the league to apologize to Cheney State and fix that wrong. But yeah, to have the highest viewed game in NCAA women's championship history between these two players, if the NBA isn't smart enough to capitalize on this storm between these two players, even though it's a made-up controversy, which most of them are, I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what.
Magic and Larry Bird respected each other and were good friends.
Yeah. So I don't know what they view the future of the WNBA as being. I don't understand. They got to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting because Caitlin Clark could ball. Say what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. She's Larry Bird.
Yes, she's talking it and backing it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I watch much women's college basketball, but anytime I would see college basketball, I'll be looking for her, and I didn't even know her damn name. This was the last couple of years, and I just noticed they had a player from Iowa that was unstoppable,
and that was able to take that team like Larry Bird took Indiana State, all the way to the chip. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely, and to your point, the WNBA need to subsidize some money to the NBA to take care of them so that they're not making whatever you're making off your NILs. We'll double that in your contract, and triple that. That'll be your sign-on bonus plus your rookie contract. And then we got TV deals lined up for y'all right now. They need some shoes for these girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a whole market that's out there, and there's no reason to siphon them out to these other countries. Jordan is making women's Jordan's version of all the shoes he's remaking. So sign these women, give them some damn money, and keep them here in the U.S. and play ball.
Yeah, John Morant was even on Angel Reese's Twitter, doing the Mooly dances. You know what I mean? Yeah, John Morant.
Doing the gritty.
Yeah, NBA young boy. Like she came up off of this. And some of the things she's mentioned, it's a shame though, Ace. We used to talk about this even in the late 80s and the 90s, bro. It was the same thing, man.
Yeah.
We always used to talk about it. The same, like, even with slang. I'd be at work and white folks can use slang and our slang in professional environments and it's cool. But when we do it, it's somehow ghetto and unprofessional.
Yeah.
But when they do it, it's cool.
Right. They want to talk to you at HR. HR manager needs to see you about something.
Yeah, but that's company platform and you're using slang. It's slang all up and down this thing.
Right.
Now you're Reggie Jackson and they give you a candy bar and no more checks.
Shout out to Reggie, man.
Big up Reggie. Yeah, big up City.
Because besides, I don't want to go all the way back, but besides taking his candy bar away, not giving him his team, they pretty much eliminated him from World Series baseball, as far as I'm concerned, as mentioning him as being one of the.
They don't be showing highlights. They did him just like they did Mike. They can't help but mention Mike. But you're right with Reggie. They don't mention Mike nowhere near enough. They did Walter Payton the same way. They still do Walter Payton. They talk about the great running backs, and they don't even be mentioning Walter Payton's name. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, they couldn't hold his jock strap. You say jock strap?
Hold his jock strap.
And you got these guys. They mention OJ more than they'll mention Walter Payton.
Oh yeah, they'll mention OJ. All right, but let's go ahead and jump to Booker of the Week. It's your first lady, okay? This is your booger of the week.
Excited about the women's basketball championship game, she put her foot in her mouth as she celebrated LSU's victory over Iowa. Dr. Jill suggested both teams come to the White House.
So I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So, we'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too, because they played such a good game.
Problem is, that's never been done before. And
I'm going to tell Joe. Now, this is tripped out on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
So, first of all, it took her a minute to come up with LSU's name. You see? Yeah. And then she said it. And so later she moonwalked. She had to back away from it by saying it was about women's and all this.
Is this the first NCAA women's championship? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Right.
When the black team wasn't recognized? Oh no, it's 2023, and the black team are thugs.
Well, Joe Biden said that because Angel Reese and I guess LSU is saying they're not going to visit the White House, they're going to kick it with the Obamas. But they should have the Obamas escort them there or something. But they said that Joe Biden was quoted as saying, "You ain't black if you don't visit the Biden White House." I'm waiting for him. You ain't black. You ain't black.
The shizzle, my nizzle. You're not black if you don't kick it to the Biden White House.
So could this be pandering? Like once again, well, I'm not gonna talk about you per se, but I'm an independent. I'm on record as saying I'm Chicago-born independent. I'm a swing voter. Once again, we do everything we can and get out there and shuck and jive for the elections and dance and do our traditions and be in church and all this and that, get them in office. And once again, Iowa's a swing state. I don't think they're giving her credit for, pandering to, I don't think it had anything to do with her pandering for those votes in Iowa. I think this was some sort of inbred, I don't know what's in her heart, racism.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, that's what I was telling my wife. Like, I was the first state to vote in the caucuses. So, it would have been brilliant politically as a move, but there's no way she was thinking that far ahead. No, absolutely no way. So, she just wanted to give them a participation trophy because they played so hard and got the brakes beat off of them in the national championship game. And they should come to the White House along with the LSU Tigers.
So let's just suppose, thought experiment. Mm-hmm. Barry Obama's president.
Barry.
When Duke was drop dead gorgeous, smart, working hard, tough kids at Duke.
Right.
With Leitner. And Bobby Rad Hurley. Let's just say when they had those players and they went up against those vandals at UNLV in the year they won. Yeah, let's say if Obama was president and Michelle got up there and said she's going to tell Barry to bring those darkies to the White House along with those, drop dead gorgeous white kids, smart ones.
Right.
How would that have played out?
Oh, you know how it would have played out. It would have been the whole country would have been way up in turmoil, much more than this situation could have even garnered. I mean, to bring those thugs to the White House.
Yeah,
with late now, and Grant Hill's fine young man. And Hurley,
unprecedented. The first black president is going to bring the all black, pretty much UNLV team, or even those Michigan teams with those thugs on there. Yeah. If they were to say, we're bringing the coloreds too.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, it would have been a precedent set that would have never happened again. But no, it would have never happened. Because it would have been Hillary Clinton And she thought they were super thugs. So that there was no way that that would have happened and been accepted. But
yeah, she wants to give them participation trophies. Caitlin said she'll go, but
the first lady should stay in her place as first lady, not enhance the precedent that's been set for the sports teams. Next thing you know, you'll have the runner-up professional teams coming to the White House and having barbecues and all kind of hot dog runs and everything. Every time there's a championship every year, so shout out to my man, 3-point specialist for the Bulls. His name is
Craig Hodges.
Craig Hodges, and his delivery of his ethnicity to the White House when he got a chance to go there. No participation trophy there.
They were pissed because he wore that dirty Fruit of Islam jacket to the White House. That's why somebody was making a political statement. You know what I mean? We're gonna cover that next week. That's good.
Right.
That's a great topic. We'll cover that next week.
All right. My man,
next.
Craig Hodges. Yes, sir.
Then after that, we can do my roof. Yeah. Chris Jackson. So
say my name.
Let's push on to our hottest topic, the forgotten story of 4, but we're covering 2 who broke color barrier in pro football. On April 15th, each year, every player in Major League Baseball wears number 42 to commemorate Jackie Robinson, big ups, 1947, when he broke the color barrier. But in 1946, before Robinson first put on the Brooklyn Dodger uniform out, big ups. And walked into history, 2 other Bruins, because Jackie was from UCLA.
Yeah.
2 other Bruins who happened to actually be his teammates on the UCLA football team. I'd be forgetting Jackie was a damn good football player.
Football, yeah. He played everything.
Track, yeah. Did something that some believe was just as courageous. On March 21st, Kenny Washington, can't get a blacker name than that. He's probably related to you.
Yeah.
Kenny Washington, a former star running back for the Bruins, suited up for the LA Rams, ending the National Football League's ban that had kept some sort of colors from playing in the league for 13 years because it was in its infancy. Right. Sharing in his triumph was Washington's best buddy and fellow Bruin, Woody Strode, who Washington had insisted on the package deal that the Rams also signed his buddy if they wanted him on the roster.
It sounds like me.
The coloreds need to do this so that we can get checks for more of us coloreds out there. Yet Washington and Strode and their counterparts, Marion Motley and Bill Willis, the first African Americans to play in the All-American Football Conference, remain largely the forgotten heroes of pro football. It's a piece. They did a documentary on it. Let's see the name of it. I don't see it, but it's a piece of American history that no one knew about. Mm-hmm. It's called Whose Films? Get up past that. All right, who cares? All right. Who cares? Okay. The film said Blum, a UCLA senior lecturer in African American and Communication Studies, is a powerful and timely reminder of the need to remember the hidden history of African American accomplishments in athletics in all fields.
Right.
I think our players would take great pride in knowing that they are standing with them on the night they flip that coin. I want our players to have a chance to sit down, view the film. This was Jim Moore, coach of UCLA. I could tell them about the history. The white man wants to tell them about the history. But I think once they watch the film, it'll really resonate. The NFL didn't start in 1920 as a segregated sports league. Up until 1933, 17 African Americans had played in the league, but then team owners decided to bar blacks from the field. it was pretty obvious that George Preston Marshall, the owner of the Redskins, led the charge and demanded that blacks not be allowed. Them damn Redskins, bro. And demanded that blacks not be allowed to play in the league.
No, it don't stop.
The Great Depression served to widen the racial rift between whites and blacks. There was a feeling that blacks were taking their jobs, so they didn't want that on the field.
Right.
Washington, a standout high school athlete before coming to UCLA in 36, and Strode, a record-breaking decathlete with star running backs who became known in Bruin lore as the Gold Dust Twins. In 1939, Washington, then a senior, was named the nation's top collegiate player. He led UCLA to its first undefeated season and played in the college all-star game against the Green Bay Packers. Oh, so they need to keep doing that. WNBA, are you listening? This is what you do in your infancy. You know what I mean? You get the best college players, to play against one of your teams.
Absolutely.
But while almost all of his all-star teammates signed with the NFL, Washington was not picked, even though Chicago Bears coach Papa Bear George Halas tried to convince. Well, we don't know what's in his heart.
Yeah.
But he tried to convince, never heard about this, to convince NFL coaches to lift a man on black players for the Bruin Star. That's
all right.
ups. Yeah.
Good ups, Papa Bear.
Uh-huh. But he can't play quarterback.
No.
But instead, Washington joined the Los Angeles Police Department and played on semi-pro teams like the Hollywood Bears, a team that Strode joined. With the end of WW2, the country began to realize that if African Americans could fight and die for the country, then they deserve equal opportunity. In football, that came with the formation of the All-American Football Conference in 1946 and the founding of the Cleveland Browns, which spurred the Cleveland Rams of the NFL to move to LA. When the LA Rams needed a lease to play in the Coliseum, a group of black sports writers and Roger Jessup, a member of Los Angeles Coliseum Commission, urged the commission to let the Rams play there on condition that at least one colored be on the team. With that, Washington joined the Rams, breaking the NFL's 13-year color barrier along with Strode. In the Midwest, a few months later, Motley and Willis had signed with the Browns and made their debut on September 6th of that same year. But while they were allowed to play, Washington and Strode were often targets for bruising play on the field by opposing players, as well as teammates from the Deep South who didn't understand why they had to cohabitate with black football players. In football, on every player, if you're a running back like Motley, Washington, or Strode, you can get pounded on the ground and beaten up. So they suffered on the field. We heard stories about Kenny Washington where he was just battered through the entire football game. In the end, Strode played with the Rams for just one season. Rams owner Dan Reeves, we don't know what's in his heart, objected to Strode's interracial marriage and made it difficult for him to succeed on the field. But Strode had better luck in Hollywood, where he became a successful actor in such movies as Spartacus. Washington ended his football career 3 years after breaking the color barrier when his knees finally gave out. Neither Washington nor Strode have been elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
No interest.
Yeah, but you guys want to put that bum Manning one. And what's the other one name? From the Rams, quarterback.
Detroit reject.
Whatever his name is.
Whatever his bum name.
Can't even think of his name. But these guys are headed towards the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Neither Washington nor Strode have been elected to the fame. None of the four players expressed bitterness about the fact that their breaking of the color barrier in professional football has been largely forgotten. They were very principled men. They created close-knit families. All right, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
I think we can get the gist of it there.
Yeah. Shout out to Papa Bear Halas.
Shout out to Papa Bear Halas. I thought he was just a bitter heir to be a business move.
Yeah. He probably wanted a couple of melanated players on his team.
Man, my ticket sales are going down since we, got this band going. Right.
Yeah. So let me let me figure out a way to get these owners in line of what I need to get done. So, but yeah. Shout out to my man for marrying whoever he wanted to marry, no matter what was going on in the time of history at that time.
Yeah, I think back in the day that was like thumbing your nose up at the white man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna call me all these words. Look at this.
Yeah. Got one of yours right here. Becky. Becky's my wife. I love her.
Dan Reeves, now is he related? Is that the same Dan Reeves? Can't be the same Dan Reeves.
Might be his I don't know, Dan. Coach.
Because we're talking 46. That can't be.
No. So it could have been his father or grandfather.
Yeah, with a different middle name or something.
Yeah, it's possible. You know how they give each other things, so he might have made him brought him on and gave him his chance in the NFL after he left it.
The pink nepotism.
Yeah. But it's an amazing story as far as these men trying to break into the NFL and them going out there on the field and getting the business. That's probably where they got it from. While they're trying to play the football game and do the best they can.
Well, the officials were letting it go on. So apparently the commissioner and everybody was on board.
Yeah. Well, that's why it was on the game. It's out there giving them the business. So, it eventually ended. But shout out to these young men, and especially for Mr. Washington for bringing his buddy along and sticking with him through thick and thin, even all the way back to the semi-pro team. Like, hey, we all we got. So shout out to these brothers, and hopefully us giving them this history on Mouthpiece included will inspire some other melanated athletes to look out for their guy or look out for their friend who has just as much talent or more talent to bring them along to be on in a professional situation so they both can get that bag, so.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, if you look in that picture, your boy Jackie Robinson is in there. Jackie's a household name. These guys aren't even in the damn Hall of Fame.
No, because they was buddies. They didn't appreciate that. They was going down with it. Because Washington said, hey, my guy got to play if I'm playing. Jackie was gone.
Yeah, he said, you're not going to have me in the locker room by myself with all these racist pinks and, you know what I'm saying? And these racist players and racist teams I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So to be out there.
Matthew Trashford. That's his name. Matthew Trashford.
Okay.
Stafford. Matthew Trashford. That's the guy.
Trashford, yeah. He'll be out the league by next year.
Yeah, but he's a Hall of Famer, and these guys aren't in. What's in the NFL's heart?
Well, we don't know what's in their heart. But, see, we don't know what's in their heart. They want to put the
enshrined.
Well, they want to put the the sayings on the back of the helmets now. Stop racism. Black Lives Matter. Give them a chance.
Those beautiful white people don't want to see that when they're sitting back drinking their beers, eating their brats, and watching football. They don't want to see that.
And nor do they want to see these color barrier breaking players enshrined into the NFL Hall of Fame.
I think the one would be in if he didn't have a white wife.
Yeah, they probably would have got in a long time ago. Absolutely. Yeah, that was an easy reason to put the thumbs down.
Man, now you know how we were, our mentality. Because, my high school was 33% black, 33% white, 33% Hispanic. But the football team was probably 70% white. Yeah, that's how they had it back then. And we get our ass kicked, and the rest of the, sick of East had coloreds out there.
Yeah, running around. No, what are these slow white boys gonna do against? Oh, gonna pound them again.
But I'm saying, like, the fortitude these gentlemen have.
Yeah.
Like Jackie in baseball, he didn't have to endure that punishment. And I remember.
Yeah, it was more mental.
Even for a running back, they get beat up to this day to a certain extent, roughed up under there in the pile. Yeah. But these guys were dealing with it to a whole nother level. It had a racial component to it, and they were literally taking abuse. And for them to be able to take that and not grab somebody by the helmet like that guy did for Cleveland. I told y'all, I said, I bet you he called him the N-word. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. The guy's, he's still in the league. He's in the league, but he's
you don't know
shouldn't be. Yeah. Some bum talking crap. But so the way these men had to carry themselves, obviously it was life or death, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see the equipment they were wearing is basically some shoulder pads and a suit.
Punters uniforms, no face mask.
Yeah. So they were getting all kind of business, grabbing them in the
spit on.
Yeah. So to endure that, NFL to help your league thrive and survive. There's no reason that these men shouldn't be recognized for their effort to make the NFL, the shield, what it is today. I know none of the owners, the current owners.
These are his final words. These are his final words. Go ahead, bro.
The current owners will care or mention or even recognize what these particular players have done for the NFL and the status of the players and the continuance of the integration of African-American players or melanated players into the league, along with, what was going on. But, for them to endure that and not be recognized by your league, who has historians, has scribes, has, investigators watching players and investigating rookies and investigating everything else that goes on in the NFL. There's no reason that you can't go back and recognize the players that broke the color barrier in the NFL and give them their time, their shout out, their roses in the Hall of Fame. So it angers me to a point every week that we're in a situation where we're recognizing all of these strong men and women that had to endure such racism and vitriol, and just to play a sport, what they call now a kid sport, where these guys are getting paid millions of dollars to play this kid sport, where they fear for their lives, they fear for their health and safety every time they stepped out there on the field. So just like the NCAA recognizing Cheney State and what was done to them in the first women's Final Four, and all the other leagues recognize that these players and their families, what they had to endure to get your league to a step where there is a certain sense of integration. Of course, there's a long way to go based on management and ownership and other factors of institutionalized racism in your leagues. But hey, if you're going to wear out these Black Lives Matters, end racism, you're going to put this crap on the back of your helmets, start living it. Start living it. Start doing it for real. Recognize what's going on in your league, what happened in your league, and make it happen. So shout out to my man, Mr. Washington, and his mans he brought along to break the color line in the NFL. True heroes. And recognize them, NFL. That's my final word.
Well said there, fella. Well said there, fella. Yeah, and I don't have much to piggyback on that. Be better, NFL. Be better. I wish I would have supported Donald Trump more in his bid to make the USFL less of a shithole league. And there's another football league now, NFL. So be careful out there. But it's egregious that these gentlemen are not enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Now, if it's just all about numbers, then that's weird. It's truly weird because what they endured, they had to put a metaphysical or metaphorical shield in front of themselves just to be able to play a football game and earn money. Look at what these guys have done that created to these to the demographic of your league today. So these gentlemen were able to let other young African Americans dream. And one day you had a Deion Sanders in your league, took your ratings right up. So shame on you for not recognizing this in a more noticeable way. We have Black History Month every month, and you've got highlight film. To Ace's point, you don't even show Walter Payton. Sure, you got some black and white film of these guys. You can be running that during Black History Month instead of talking about your white quarterbacks all game. There's a lot more going on out there in the field. So big ups to these gentlemen. Just can only wonder if Jackie would have chose football. He would have shined, bro. He would have shined. You had world-class athletes out there, and the league was banning them from getting those paychecks. So
Crazy.
That's crazy. Those are my final words. You remember, Ace, I had banned it. I hadn't watched the NFL for a few years after the Colin thing, and now I only watch the Bears.
Right.
That's it. Super Bowl II. Yeah, that's it. I don't have any interest. And this is why, League. Yeah, this is why I'm fed up.
You can fix it. Easy to fix.
Yeah, it's a simple fix. It'll help with your marketing.
Absolutely.
So
the demographic is dying off. You gotta fix it.
So next at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Self Love Show, we're going to be covering MK Ultra, the real CIA conspiracy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they call people tinfoil hat wearers, crazy, wacky conspiracy theorists. Until the government comes out and does their, you got to release the information after 50 years, and they do that. Now, all of a sudden, this is a real conspiracy come true.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it real?
Is it? That's the question. And next week, Mouthpiece included, our hottest topic is going to be the curious case of first three-time three-point shooting competition winner, Craig Hodges. Is a member of the Nation of Islam. Yeah. Showed up to the White House wearing a Fruit of Islam jacket.
Oh, gotta kill him.
The Bush White House. Looking to talk politics and answer the same questions Colin Kaepernick was asking. And, of course, that wasn't the platform. This is the time for this. You guys are here to coon it up.
Yeah. We don't know what's in George Bush's heart.
Yeah, this is a photo shoot for the president here. This has nothing to do with you guys.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be breaking down next week. So we got Morris politics, and that one is right up our line. And Craig Hodges actually played for those Chicago Bulls, so
Yeah.
that's perfect. And he's from Chi. All right, so if you ever find yourself sliding through the south side of Chi, maybe even on the west side, you might even be dipping through Inglewood, Cali, down La Brea, Century. Better be checking your six, checking that blind spot, keeping that head on a swivel, watching your six. Better guard your grill. Better knuckle up. And don't forget to.
Don't forget it.
And don't forget to.
My mouthpiece.
You forgot your mouthpiece.
No, you crazy? Don't forget it, baby.
And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Huh?
Shout out KSLOA. Hey, motherfucker.